welcome to the Simplifying Omnichannel Product Experiences, the Activation Lab. Let's just introduce the panel today. So,
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Jordi. I'm part of the solution engineering team responsible for the Benelux and Nordics market.
Okay, and I'm Robin Izerski. I'm part of the customer success team here at Akeneo.
And I'm Liz. I'm the head of marketplaces at TechTake. So I've been working for TechTake for 3 years now, and everything that is marketplace related goes through me. And what is TechTake? So TechTake is an e-commerce company. We sell in our websites and in the marketplaces. We sell in 16 countries in Europe, and we have a range of around 2,000 products, and mainly garden furniture and live-in home products. And we sell in 80 marketplaces all over Europe.
Perfect. Thank you. So, we're not switching tabs. All right. So what does make activation so important? Well, your customers will engage with your brand online, in stores, and on their phones using different platforms. They are omnichannel by default, and they expect engaging product experiences across all of those channels, regardless of which device they're using. Now I'm going to test if it skips, but I don't think it does every time I do that, so that's a little... So, and we know that product experiences drive customer experiences, and the bad ones can be extremely costly. It's not just be good enough to get listed on a channel. You need to offer accurate and complete product information everywhere. So we did a survey recently on our B2C customers, and 70% of consumers think that brands can improve their product data. So right off the bat, your customers are already not happy with what they're seeing. 64% of consumers will simply buy another product if there is missing information. And I think the most shocking one of all is that 66%, so that's 2 out of every 3 of your consumers, will completely stop buying from a brand due to a bad product experience. All right, this is not going to work like that. So controlling your own D2C website is easy. It becomes a lot more difficult when you're dealing with unowned channels like Amazon and any of the other retailers or marketplaces. So how can we help control those? Through activation, we can directly connect to those retailers and marketplaces, allowing you to map and transform that data and meet their requirements quite easily.
So Liz, could you maybe explain to everybody today what the marketplace strategy was like at TechTake and how it's structured?
So actually, the marketplace team is part of the e-commerce team at TechTake, and we have marketplaces managers that are working from different countries in Europe, and their job is actually to be sure that our products are there into the marketplaces, that they have the specific requirements, that they are on the correct category, and that the client has the best experience while shopping. And of course, we want them to buy our products and not the ones from competitors.
Great. And can you describe, you've talked a little bit about the marketplace team, but maybe you could describe them a little bit more?
Yeah, actually, marketplace team is a structure. So we have the marketplaces except Amazon, and then we have a dedicated Amazon team. And why is it? It's because Amazon is a very complex marketplace, and they provide us a lot of tools. And we know that we really need to daily work there, and we need people dedicated for this.
And do you plan on growing this team going forward?
Yeah, we already grew a lot since last years, and the idea is to keep growing because marketplaces are the best channels for us. We perform very well there, and we need resources to have optimized data and to change the requirements, the specified requirements by the marketplaces.
And how does the team handle the constant influx of changes to marketplaces?
Yeah, talking about requirements, so we get alerted by email, and then we have this requirements tab in activation, and we can actually see what are the new requirements coming, and we can anticipate and have the product, the new requirements mapped before our products get deactivated, and we are aware way before having problems with deactivated products.
Great.
So how is all of that product information managed? Well, what we hear from our customers is that they use Excel a lot. They live in Excel. And if they're not using Excel, they are manually using each portal on each website. So that is quite a hassle. Lastly, some of you are using middleware solutions, which comes at an additional cost and an additional user interface that you need to teach your users how to get along with.
So let's take a step back. Maybe you could explain for everybody, you were already using different tools to activate your products to retail sites and marketplaces, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What were the challenges you were facing, and why did you reevaluate these tools?
Yeah, actually, we had too many tools, and it was quite complicated for us for our daily work. And then we said, okay, we are already PIM users. Why not having only one tool with our product data and with our marketplaces? So data flow would be way easier.
And so when you decided that you were going to select a new tool, what was important for the entire team when choosing something new?
So first, we needed to know if the marketplaces we currently work with are already integrated on the tools roadmap, and then the other ones that we wanted to integrate it if they were also there. And second thing, we wanted a friendly, user-friendly platform because it's way easier for us for our daily work. Then, yeah, as we already knew Akeneo, we already knew the PIM, we said, why not keeping using this one?
Great.
So what does activation actually do? As you can see, we are now supporting 500 plus retailer and marketplaces. So there's a whole lot of channels that you can connect to. We allow you to map and transform your PIM data to meet all of those requirements from all of those different channels. But it's not just about product data. We can now also support the management of pricing, stock, and orders so that you have a single solution to connect not just your product information and send them to marketplaces, but also to communicate pricing, inventory, and orders. So if we look on how that then works, is you can see that on the far left, we have the connect, where you simply choose the marketplace you wish to connect to, and you will fill in your seller ID. Now we'll see this in action in a bit. Then you map and transform your data. So you will get a list of all of the guidelines from the marketplace, and you simply just map your data to what they ask from you in terms of information. Then you activate the account. So that simply means sending the products to that marketplace. And finally, once those products are actually live and you're selling on that marketplace, you are able to monitor any of the changes that they're making to make sure that your products do not get delisted, and you can optimize those products to make sure that they sell better. So from there, let's actually look into a live demo of activation. But before we do that, Liz, out of all the existing features, which one is your favorite?
Common catalog.
We're going to see that in a second.
It avoided a lot of manual work.
All right. Works fine. So from the PIM interface, what I can do is simply just go to my Connect tab, and from my connected apps, I have my Akeneo Activation. This will open up a new tab with, first of all of the activated channels that you have currently active. So in this case, I am selling on Amazon Vendor UK as my only activated channel. However, I can switch very easily to my available channels, and that opens up the list of 500 plus supported channels that I can simply search for one, select the one I need, fill in my seller ID, and that will get activated, and you'll immediately be able to go into that mapping process for that specific marketplace. Let's look at one of my, and before we do that, actually, we also see here that we have the request your flat file based channel. This is a new feature that's been released that allows you as a customer to send in an Excel spreadsheet of a marketplace that is not yet supported on activation, and we will get it added to the supported amount of channels for not just you, but for all the customers. So an example of this one was Sue Plus that has been recently requested by one of our customers, and within 24 hours, it was added as a supported channel for everyone. So let's just look into the actual interface once we have activated a channel. What we can see here in the dashboard is just immediately a quick overview of what might go wrong. So I have a few errors that I need to resolve. But before doing that, let's first focus on actually just setting up and enabling products to get syndicated to these marketplaces. As Liz, you already mentioned, Common Catalog is where we start setting this up. Within the Common Catalog, we are able to map all of the data that is going to be similar to any product group that I might select. So on the screen here, you'll see that bed linen is activated, but within a lot of the other product groups, they're still going to ask for the product name, the description, the weight, etc. So I want to map those once so that I can leverage that again and again on the individual product groups that I'll be enabling. So from here, let's go to mapping of the Common Catalog, in which we have a list of 105 different fields that we can map as part of that Common Catalog. These can be fields such as the UUID, so the identifier of the product, but also whether batteries are included, what's the brand name, what are the bullet points, etc., etc. So this is really laying the groundwork of all of the product information and mappings that I need to do. That's going to be the same for all of the different product groups. Let's go back to activation and then look at the dedicated bed linen mapping. From here, what we can see is that we can filter on all the required and unmapped fields. Now let's look at the required fields. And in the PIM source on roughly middle of the screen, you'll see that we map the different values either through the common mapping, so that would be inherited from the parent mapping, or we set up dedicated mappings for this specific product group. We can do all kinds of transformations from here to make sure that the data is optimized for the marketplace that we're sending this data to. One of the examples here is that for Amazon, as a marketplace, they want to always have the brand name in front of the product name. So you don't have to maintain this information as a separate field in your PIM. You can make that transformation directly using activation. After we set up the mapping, we set up which products we want to actually activate. So that is through a product selection where we're focusing on any products that are enabled, and in this case, within the bed linen product family within the PIM. And that's going to give us a selection, in this case, of 5 products that we'll be syndicating to Amazon. From there, once we do that synchronization, so we've completed the mapping process, the products are ready to go to that marketplace, we'll be sending that in a product overview. So from here, we'll see exactly which products are being shared to Amazon. We can also see that we have a product line that has an error count of 2. So this means that this product is actually failing to get listed on Amazon. And we can go into that product and directly see what the mistakes are. So in this case, the USP1 and the brand are required by Amazon, but they're not yet enriched on the actual product in PIM. And we can also see directly in all of the data that we are sending to them that that information is indeed missing. The information you'll see in the middle is post-transformations. So if you do the concatenation of values, such as your brand name and the product name, you'll be able to see exactly the data you're sending to your marketplace. To fix these issues, we can go to the product, and it's immediately going to send us to the right product in the PIM for us to fix the mistakes, and then it will resynchronize either on the schedule that you've configured, or you can push it on demand. Once we have successfully activated all of these products, we will look into our requirements tab. And within the requirements tab, if it wants to show, it's always a curse of a live demo. There we go. So within the requirements, we can see exactly what Amazon is changing for the product groups that we have activated. So this allows us to constantly monitor what is potentially going to delist my products. Now, as you can see here, we do have a mix between blocking. Are there any non-blocking issues? No, just blocking ones. So we have some blocking changes that are going to be processed on a specific date by Amazon. And they will communicate that information to activation so that you can make sure that either some new mappings are made, some new attribute values are added, etc., that your products aren't going to get delisted. We just saw, first of all, the common mapping process. You mentioned that this is the most valuable feature for your team. Could you tell us why this feature is so important?
Actually, it saves us a lot of time because we have around 200 catalogs per marketplace because we sell a lot of products. So imagine having to map all the attributes, all the common attributes, 200 times. So yeah, of course, it's a lot of timing saving.
And we know that marketplaces can change their requirements all the time. What was your process like before using activation to keep track of all of these changes to make sure that your products don't get delisted?
So first we were checking our emails to see if marketplaces were telling us that they were adding new requirements. And if this was not the case, we were waiting for our products to get errors and be deactivated on the marketplace to fix it. And now we are saving more time because we can anticipate this.
Nice. So, as I mentioned, it's not just about products. It's also, again, about pricing, inventory, and orders. Now, here, I will just go to orders. This immediately gives us, again, in the same user interface, an overview of all of the orders that are incoming, but also we can send back shipment updates to the actual marketplace so that your customers, again, regardless of where they ordered the product, will get product updates, shipment updates, tracking, etc. So from here, what we can do is say we want to see all shipped products. Open one up, and you'll see the information that we're pushing back to the marketplace. This includes the package that was shipped, which carrier was used, what's the tracking number, etc., etc. So all of that information is directly available through a single user interface. That was it for the live demo.
Great. So let's focus a little bit more on marketplaces. How many marketplaces did you have before leveraging Akeneo?
So we had around 80 marketplaces before. With the migration to Akeneo, we decided to shut down some of them that didn't make sense to our business anymore. And then after we finished this migration, we decided to add more channels.
Okay, and do you plan to open new marketplaces going forward?
Yeah, definitely. We analyze if the marketplace doesn't fit our requirements, if we are not generating enough revenue, we shut down some of them, and then we open new ones that are arriving, the new marketplaces on our roadmaps.
Okay, and how long did it take you to open and send products to a new marketplace before activation?
Before, it was taking around 2 months, depending on the marketplace and on the tool we were using for the integration.
And now with activation?
With activation, for a simple integration with not a lot of required attributes, we can do an integration in 15 days.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, and with common catalogs, of course.
And what was the implementation of activation like for you and your team?
It was quite a big project because we had 1 year to migrate 20 marketplaces that we had in another tool we were using. And we only tested the environmental testing that we had with Akeneo, and we said, okay, let's see if it works or not. And there was a lot of training to get used to the tool, but we had this advantage because we were already PIM users, so it was easier for us to do the integration. And for now, we know the tool, we know how to manage errors and how to manage products, and for us, it's way easier. And the most important thing is that we are really supported by Akeneo. We have real people talking to us. We are not talking to robots, and we get answers very fast.
Great. Great. And can I ask you a little bit about has activation participated in reducing the cost of your marketplace strategy at all?
Yeah, definitely. This was also a costly decision, and what we like the most is that Akeneo pushes us to integrate new channels, and we can work together as partners.
Yeah. All right, so we did look at what the product has on offer today. So we do want to give a sneak peek into what is to come for 2025. So let's dive into what you can expect from activation in 2025. As you can see, we are focusing on 3 major pillars in terms of product investment. The first one, and I would say this is our Akeneo Activation mantra, which is more channels. So we will continue on expanding additional supported channels. The second pillar is focused on expanding the marketplace's capabilities that we support. So one of the key investment that we had was obviously around a price and inventory and order management. Now we support this for a limited list of channels, such as Amazon and the Miracle-based marketplaces, but we will continue to further enhance this support. And the third and last pillar is focused on keeping the whole process efficient for our customers. And this is done through solutions such as the common catalog, but also other capabilities where you are able to copy over the different mappings from one product group to another to, again, really have that efficient process of being able to reuse the mapping and transformations you've done already before for that channel. So let's dive a little deeper into what each pillar means. Starting with more channels. So customers will be able to request flat file channels to be added, as I've already mentioned, with Sue Plus as the example. Again, this is a request made by a single customer, but it will be made available for everyone using the activation platform. Do you have any channels in mind, Liz, that you would request right now?
Yeah, we have our clear roadmap, and if we are not in compliance with the roadmap, we can definitely work with flat files. And yeah, I definitely have some in mind.
Perfect. And then we'll obviously continue expanding ourselves as well. We're not going to rely just on the influx of requests from our customers. We will continue on building additional integrations with our strategic 1P and 3P channels. One of the major focuses is, for example, Target in the US. And finally, we will add social channels, social selling channels such as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. In total, I believe we are aiming for about 1,000 supported channels by the end of 2025. Then let's talk about the support for more marketplace capabilities. As I mentioned, today we support price and stock management for a selection of channels, and in 25 we'll expand this with support for the order flow management, which was released earlier this year. But again, we will expand that to more channels. And as you all know, the enhanced content has an immediate impact on the conversion rate of your products. So we will further invest in support for creating and activating enhanced content on all of these different marketplaces. Finally, we are talking about lightning fast onboarding. Now, during the whole keynote of this morning, it was all about AI. And this is no different when it comes to how we want to use AI to support your process, again, in being as efficient as possible when it comes to enabling these channels. So first is the mapping copilot. This really is there to help you find the different elements in your own data model and map that against the requirements and guidelines from a marketplace or retailer. Second is the error handling and translations, again supported by AI. A lot of the regional marketplaces will communicate their guidelines in the local language. That means that if you are activating, let's say on Amazon Germany, the guidelines and error messages will be in German. That could be problematic if the person who's responsible for actually syndicating products to that channel doesn't speak German. So with the AI service, we'll be able to help you translate directly all of the information coming back from that marketplace to make sure that your user actually understands what is the problem when it comes to managing that specific channel. Out of those, Liz, which one are you looking mostly forward to?
AI, definitely, because it will save us a lot of time for the optimization of our marketplaces and for the integration of new ones.
And that is actually a wrap when it comes to our 2025 roadmap. I hope you're just as excited as we are.
And so maybe you can tell everybody, what are your next steps with Akeneo?
We want to integrate new channels like Otto, like Amazon, like Bol in the Netherlands. And we really want to optimize the existing ones we have and in order to provide the best client experience, because if we want to open new channels all the time, it's always good, but first we need to be sure that the ones we are working with, they perform well.
Great. So just to summarize for everybody, I think what we're really honing in on here today with Liz and everything that's happened at TechTech with activation is there's easier integration with the PIM. Yeah. And so that was really important. We're helping clean data and help them work with fewer systems. They're optimizing existing channels while creating better customer experiences. The common catalog and AI features soon to come. This facilitates their integration in daily work. And working with Akeneo is not just them being our client. We really work as a partner with them. So, yeah, I mean, I just want to let everybody know that besides today, what time is it? Do we have time?
We have some time for Q&A,
okay,
yeah.
We can maybe ask some questions here. Don't hesitate after the session today to seek out Liz and Jordi, and we can point out some other team members that could answer more questions about activation. And there's also activation training that we offer, and the Akeneo Help Center that offers a lot of information about activation today. So those are additional resources for you to get more information.
And as we do have some spare time left, I think we can open it up to the floor for any questions that you might have for Akeneo, so for us, or for Liz. So yeah, this is your moment.
Does anyone have any questions they want to ask?
No? All right. In case something does pop up, I will be around on the floor the remainder of the day. We also have Benjamin over here, who is part of the product team at Activation, the expert when it comes to this product. So yeah, do find us on the floor if you do have any questions.
And yeah, I know Jordi and I just want to thank you, Liz, for taking the time to be here today and explain your journey with Akeneo and with Akeneo Activation today. So thanks so much.
Thank you.